Swagger.
First of all, I have to apologize for the deep, raspy voice. I am a little bit under the weather, but it does make for a good narration voice. Mer and I were trying some out earlier. I try my best to not get into narration voice, but Wes sounds a little nasally. That's sexy. Oh. Perhaps, yeah, I guess so. Sarah would disagree. Found out I felt this way. I had jury duty on Tuesday. Didn't serve for any juries. Walked into a courtroom and then did we not call any jurors' numbers? That me, and then they had me rattle my number off, and I was one of 5 people that they just sent back to the waiting area, and that was my day of jury duty. I went and got lunch, and then at 3:30 they sent me home with $30, by the way. They've upped the daily
dollars, huh?
The daily per diem now.
It's good.
So what I wanted to talk about, I want to talk about a couple things before we get into our list here. Mur, first of all, I watch most of what you post on our Middle Class Holes page. Most of it. Sometimes some of this slips through the crack, depending upon when you post it, depending upon how busy I am, or how just kind of fussy my phone is being. But apparently you posted one of these, and I came across it, and it's these fucking videos of Frankie Valli marching out between sideshow backup singers who are men not half his age, probably a third of his age, sitting there smiling, clapping.
I would argue a fifth of his age. Those guys are probably in their 20s, and he is every minute of 90 plus years old.
He's 89. So
okay,
just split hairs. Alan, have you seen these?
No, I have not actually.
Okay, I have a follow-up question to that.
On our page?
I think I sent them to the middle class. This was a while ago at this point, though. But Alan, are you familiar with Tales from the Crypt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, it's worse lip syncing than even that.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Check this out.
I get it. People pay money to say they saw a legend and that's it. But it's this. You're right. It's an animatronics version of Frankie Valli meets Beetlejuice meets Tales from the Crypt Keeper. He's like Sherry, but he's barely opened his mouth, and he's what?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll sing for you, and you act it out. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Sherry, baby, Sherry. Yeah, but the thing is, it's from like the Four Seasons greatest hits vocal track only. They could have grabbed something from when he was like, I don't know, in his 60s, maybe still like capable of doing a live show. But no, they grabbed 23-year-old Frankie Valli before his fucking left testicle dropped, and they shoved this 90-year-old man out there who can fucking barely open his soupy ass eyes.
Yeah, it's.
Good
I don't know what to make of it, man. Someone, whether that be a producer or an event organizer or someone who has the rights to the Valli name and everything else that he owns or doesn't own or whatever, marches his ass out there, presumably in Las Vegas, a couple times a week in front of paying and adoring fans. And it's just like, oh my God, this would be like putting Ali in the ring in the 1990s when it was obvious that if you recall that version of Muhammad Ali.
Who's sharp as a tack.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, well, my question would be, are you mad that they sent him out there and had him lip sync? Or are you mad, like I'm saying, like they picked the wrong version of lip sync? Or would you rather him go out there like a la Axl Rose and just be there, sound terrible, but it's him? Like, what version do you want?
I don't think I'm mad. All right, let's just put that out there. I don't think. Maybe this is like subconscious mad. I think what it is, it has more to do with people paying money to go see that. You know what I mean? Maybe it's false advertising.
Yeah.
If someone like saying like, hey, Frankie Valli, he's not what he was even 10, 15, 20 years ago, but my man still has some pipes. He can still put on a good performance. And you pay, what, $20, $30? And you're like, oh, my God. Like a stiff breeze is gonna knock that son of a bitch down.
Or just like, I don't know, you could even fucking bill it like animatronic, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, did you love the novelty of Chuck E. Cheese bands when you took your child there? Like, come see Frankie Valli, fucking the Frankie Valli puppet, fucking perform the hits, and fucking they just roll them up there and shit. I'd go see that. I'd eat a mushroom chocolate and fucking enjoy. Like, why not?
Here's the flip side of that. I just sent one to the Middle Class Souls messenger right now. Now this is Brian Wilson, and Brian Wilson can't sing anymore either. And he's got a guy that sounds just like him. And so what does Brian Wilson do? He just sits at the piano and stares at you with his cold, soulless, monotone fucking eyes.
Give it, I kind of like that. That sounds sexy.
And he's seriously just fucking this guy with his iPhone out, looking at him like, "What are you doing? What are you doing out there? Are you
I don't know
cover?"
where this link you got came from, but it's like no link I've ever seen before, and it doesn't work.
Well,
Yeah.
fine. Fair. It worked for me. All right, that's all I can say.
It's one of those Apple links. I got it.
You been binging again? You been binging again?
It's binging.
My problem is I'm worried about the Chinese government spying on me. So every time I close TikTok, I fully close it and swipe up so the app is completely gone.
Can I derail this for a second?
Sure.
What exactly are you concerned the Chinese government might find out about you, Mer?
It's not what they might find out. It's what they might take out of context. I guess that's my fear. All right. I don't know. But you know what? I don't like your argument in the first place because it's the same argument that like they use after 9/11 with like the Patriot Act. Like, well, we ain't doing anything wrong. You got to worry about. Why don't we just monitor everything you do?
Yeah. Mine was more so, why do you think Andrew Murr from Cecil County, Maryland is important to the Chinese government?
Because I'm an American, and it's the principle of the goddamn thing. And right now we're solving fucking issues when it comes to aging American icons who don't fucking sing for real in person. Frankie Valli is a national treasure, I guess. Would you okay, well, here's my question, though, about this, because I feel like I need the answer. I think I'm mad about it because, are you tricking me? Like, almost to the organizers, I'm asking this question. Like, do you think you're tricking me? Do you think I believe that Frankie Valli sounds like a 23-year-old man that just, like, I don't know, huffed steam and separated his vocal cords individually to sound like a golden goddess of a man? No. So I'm mad that they're trying to pull one over on me because I can listen to the CD in my car. I think the two options I take are I would rather hear the gravelly voice of an old man trying to perform a hit that he once did 50 years ago, or just have him kind of creaking on stage, like dancing with the Jersey Boys while they sing it for us.
Grace is the word, it's the word, it's the groove.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool too.
or just have him say, "Oh, what a night!"
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, and the other question I have, though, this man, 90 years old, like, did he squander all the money?
Yeah, I was talking with Jimmy about this on Monday. He asked the same thing, and I said, I don't know. I mean, I wonder, does he just thoroughly enjoy performing that much? Some people do. Fucking Springsteen sold out Camden Yards like 3 weeks ago. Now the boss,
Bruce Springsteen, is still like virile.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the worst part about that is Bruce Springsteen's music. So fuck.
Here we are.
It's not so much the performance quality, it's just the actual content. This is the problem.
You know, when Sirius came out, there were two artists that had their own channels. It was Elvis and Springsteen.
Yeah.
Sirius is out of Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some pissed off individuals, except Springsteen fans. But
Bruce Springsteen is one of the greatest songwriters of all time. I'll admit I don't necessarily like
That's
all
fair.
all the arrangements of some of his hits. However, the poems that come out of that are fucking amazing.
Yeah, well, that I will absolutely give you.
Okay, thank you.
Because you've got like, yeah, I mean, he's written songs that like other people sing. Like, what was that? What was that documentary on Netflix? It was fucking that guy from I think like Interscope Records or helped start Interscope Records back in the day. And he fucking used to pal around with Springsteen and all those guys and like help them. I think he was like a studio producer maybe at the time, and like he basically stole what Because the Night, is that what that shit's called? Who sings that? That broad. Give me 2 seconds.
Because the night belongs to lovers.
Yes, correct.
That was 10,000 Maniacs, wasn't it?
Patti Smith. No, he basically like he wanted to take that and give it to Patti Smith, and fucking Bruce Springsteen was like, nah, and he was like, hey, Patti Smith, sing this song. All right, hey Bruce, listen to this. And he was like, fuck. All right, cool. And then that became Because of the Night. So yeah, like I give you that one. He is a hell of a fucking songwriter. He's just bad at singing them. So just let other people do it.
I guess that's arguable, but
yeah, that's fair.
Like Thunder Road is one of my favorite songs of all time. Screen door slams, Mary's dress waves, like a vision she dances across the porch as the radio plays. Like, holy shit.
Beautifully written. If somebody else sang it, it would be immaculate.
Like
And
Frankie
another
Valli,
one-
he got his hands on that.
Even
I'll
Frankie
tell you
Valli's corpse, actually. Frankie Valli's corpse, I would take over Bruce Springsteen.
By the way, great 4 Seasons. The Oh What a Night was their biggest selling hit of all time, and Frankie Valli only sings the Oh What a Night. Like he was pissed. They had to give him. He was pissed because it was of how well the song did, and he almost got kicked out of the group because he didn't want to be a part of it. But they're like, listen, Frankie, we need you on the record. We need you in the band. We got a part for you. It ain't the song, but it's the hook. It's the most important part, Frankie. And he's like, fine. And if you watch the video for it, it's just him sitting on like a bar stool with a mic in front of him, just bebopping a Canadian tuxedo, going back and forth. So he didn't even write that. And that's their biggest. That's their biggest song.
All right. Speaking of singer and songwriters, all right.
Hold on. I was going to mention.
Go for it.
I was going to mention one more. One more sneaky songwriter that people don't fucking give enough credit to is fucking Bob fucking Seger, because I think the greatest song lyric in the history of music is "I wish I didn't know now what I didn't know then," and "Against the fucking wind." It's the fucking that makes my nipples hard every time that fucker comes across the airwaves.
I like it.
All right.
I like
so
it.
you bring up a good point. So coincidentally, about 2 weeks ago, all right, and this wasn't I was today years old when, or some sort of walking through the golden arches or some moment of clarity or anything like that. But a couple weeks ago was the first time I ever heard Like a Rock in its entirety. Do you remember that?
Like a rock.
Correct.
Like a rock.
Yeah.
The theme song for the 1990s Chevy Silverado ad campaign. And okay, so first of all, I forgot how cool of an ad campaign that was. Second of all, when that song came on, can you imagine how many erections were spawned? How many fucking Olympic-sized swimming pool of cream of pre-cum could have been filled with men be like, "Oh man, America was built on rugged individualism. And every one of those individuals wants the same thing from their Chevy Silverado, the most reliable, dependable pickup on the road." Oh, man.
Yeah, dude, it was so intense.
Okay, Alan, I'm gonna need you to do some Googling here real quick. Find out what year that Chevy Silverado campaign was, if you can.
God. Well, I know when the song came out.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if they lined up.
No, I do think it was about a decade-ish before. I think that the song was like early 80s and that ad campaign. Best guess is like 1989 to 96. That lasted. That was like about as long as Friends.
In 1991, the Like a Rock advertising campaign was launched by Chevrolet for trucks.
Is there
with Bob Seger's song of the same name?
Is there any way? I don't know how to tell you to do this or ask of you. Is there any way to see the sales increase in the Chevy Silverado in that era.
I'm sure there probably is.
God.
Like Chevy Silverado sales like
Sales.
90 to 2,000 or something.
If not, we should send this information to some college kid. That way he doesn't, steal someone else's information to write a business plan. This isn't my own, but hey, I'm showing a corresponding trend with Chevy inserts Bob Seger song and sales goes up. And I was watching one of these ads, Alan, while you're doing some real deep diving into
This is some serious shit.
to this. I was watching one of the ads, and it's like
specific thing I've been asked to do.
I know, I apologize, but it's worth it.
That's okay. It's okay. I
It's
like it.
But it's a lot of hard hat wearing people. It's a lot of ranchers. It's people pulling boats, things of that nature.
Yeah.
But the one that gets me is they're driving through a warehouse that's sparking. It has sparks of like metal just hitting it, which it's cool and it's got a great effect. But if I spent that money on that truck, I'm getting that like, what the fuck, motherfuckers? Fuck up my paint job. And then pull the pistol out.
Yeah.
Shoot in the air a couple times. Like a rock.
Though, I think but the point of the commercial, the point of the campaign, the point of getting like the guy from fucking Detroit Rock City to fucking sing your fucking song in a falsetto voice with a little bit of rasp in it. I saw a guy, I had a neighbor, and he bought a brand new truck. I don't know if it was a Silverado or an F-150 or what, but still had the temp tags on it. And he bought it, and the first thing he did is he fucking pulled it in his backyard and started throwing these fucking, like, chunks of concrete into the bed with no bed liner. And I'm like, that fucking guy doesn't view his truck like some sort of vanity project. He's like, I need to haul 5 tons of stone, and I need a truck whose suspension won't fucking blow the fuck out when I pull out of the driveway.
That's right.
That's pretty ballsy, pretty badass.
Anything, Alan? I mean, if you don't come up with something, you're still a hell of a researcher for the middle class holes.
I'm trying to find sales numbers like far enough back. So, let's see. Dude, really? You sell that many fucking trucks?
What they should have done is SNL could have done great parodies where they have just like a hard hat construction worker with a gut in a wife pleaser T-shirt on, like rolled up over its gut, napping at lunchtime, like America was built on the foundation. A rancher,
actually, that would be a great skit where like they come in and like they pitch different ideas for like, all right, what we got for the Dodge Neon? And it's just some kids with like frosted tips singing fucking 311 songs.
Nice.
Yeah, but like I said, first time. I think I don't remember what it was on. It wasn't on my phone, tell you that. But it dawned on me like I've never heard this song from start to finish, and I'm not stopping. I'm not changing the channel. I'm gonna listen to this whole 3 minutes.
I'm sure I have heard it, but was it worth it? I mean, or was the hook exactly what you wanted it to be?
I could not think of anything. I could not think of anything else other than people driving around Chevy Silverados. That's the only thing I could think of. Like I said, a rancher glaring at the camera from 2:00 and nodding, and then the construction worker high-fiving after a long day's work with sweaty wife beater. Someone a commercial fisherman pulling his boat to early in the morning.
Nah, there's always a guy like throwing like his tools and fucking like his hard hat in the truck, wiping his brow and getting his Chevy Silverado.
I think one I saw was
I cannot find sales numbers past 2010.
I know. I'm sorry. That's fair.
It's fine. I kind of wanted to know. So I'm going to see a sharp increase.
I think one I saw, because I did watch like a half dozen ads, was someone with an orange vest directing traffic with their Chevy Silverado behind them, like blocking the road to help out. And then I was always hauling something. Hauling lumber, sod.
I always thought there was always one that was like unrealistic though. There was like one guy in like a dually Silverado pulling like a fucking like commercial farm combine. And it's like, all right, settle the fuck down. That's gonna wide load it down fucking I-70 through the fucking heartland. And you're telling me the Chevy Silverado's pulling that fucker? Fuck off. Like, you know, what I mean?
To the tune of like 6 miles a gallon.
Yeah, they always took it a step too far. It's like, look at us transporting this blue whale. Stop it, Chevy.
In a tank of water.
You had me with the song and the visuals until this.
It does make me wonder, like, because I remember when I worked at the radio, we were a cluster of 5 radio stations. So it was like, I was on the rock station, there was a classic rock station, there was a rap station, there was like the We Play Anything station, and then we had a Spanish station. And so it was always funny going to these sales meetings because they would claim like, well, you know, we're a diverse company. And it's like, yeah, but in 3 seconds, you're going to talk to me about how do we reach the urban male demographic. And and obviously in 1990, when the Chevy Silverado Like a Rock campaign came out, it was for blue collar white dudes wanting to buy a new truck. Like, that's who you were selling to. It does make me wonder, how could we market to other demographics?
Oh man.
Like, what would certain people be hauling if they made that commercial? And then my other question is, can you make that commercial?
I think so. If it's like Latinos, it's basically the same exact commercial, except you multiply the number of people in each scene by 10. You get what I'm saying? So like that's it. That's the commercial.
Like
same
12
thing.
people get out of the double
Same
wide.
thing. Yeah, like but you know, guys blasting a fucking Budweiser in the original. It's a Modelo. Like you know, just subtle differences and increased quantity of humans. That's the Latino version. Do I even want to get into a black version? I don't even know. Actually, I'm not. I'm not black. I don't know that I have it. I don't know that I have the insight into the culture.
I mean, obviously, let's be honest. They're all the same commercial. You just change the actual people getting in and out of the truck.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very true.
But I do think you're right with the Latino community.
But for comedy's sake, you know.
Yeah. It's the Chevy Silverado King Plus Dual XYZ cab. You can fit 9 people comfortably. Which means 20 uncomfortably.
Yeah. Believe it or not.
And then you just show show the inside of the cab, and there's like 4 dudes on 4 dudes' laps. And you're like, yeah. And they're all eating from fucking pupusas. Nah, not tacos. Pupusas is fucking deeper. You know?
When they pull up in front of a Home Depot and unload like a clown car.
Yeah, basically.
See you tomorrow, hombres.
Yeah.
Ooh, like a rock. Middle class souls, everyone. Foxman, Alan, and Murr. Folks, tonight we got a pretty special list coming via BuzzFeed. This is, I read it as 15. It's actually 17 daily inconveniences that frustrate people but should have been solved. And for one reason or another, they aren't solved. Buckle up. And if you're not in your Chevy Silverado in the middle of the back seat, you better put that goddamn seatbelt on, because you might be flying through that. Well, you're not going to fly through that windshield. You're going to hit that thick double glass piece of Americana that nothing can get through, even at point blank range. Number one, not
laminated.
What's up?
Sugar glass.
Chevy Silverado.
We could literally do a whole show on fucking Chevy Silverados.
Watch those sales fucking numbers tank after this one.
Oh yeah.
Number one, not having zipper lock bags inside cereal boxes. I don't know. I think that's a bit of an inconvenience. What were you saying, Alan?
She kind of just blew my mind. I was waiting to mock these, and okay, I'll say this. I don't necessarily need like the Ziploc closure for the cereal box. I think that would fucking cause Kellogg's to raise their prices by like $2.50. But maybe make the plastic just simpler to open, because you've got like one shot at a box of cereal, and I always try to go for like one of the corners and then peel slowly. But every now and again, it just pops, and all of a sudden, like, You get a hard slice, like vertically down the bag, and then your cereal is fucked until you're halfway done stale cereal.
Yeah. No, see, I think that's just bad strategy. First of all, you gotta go. I go center open, like a bag of chips, and then you gotta roll, and then you just gotta roll it tightly down. But that's you avoid the slice, man. It's really just damage control is all that is, honestly, because the bags are garbage. Now, I agree. You probably don't. No, I don't agree. I disagree, actually. I was going to be like, I agree. Maybe that's a little much. We don't got to go Ziplocs. But you can get fucking, Fruitios, the fucking Food Line brand, in a Ziploc bag. So why can't fucking Kellogg's do it? I don't need the box. Give me the fucking Ziploc bag. You know what I mean? Like, if it's box or Ziploc bag, give me a Ziploc bag.
But Wes, you weigh in on this because I have to argue with Alan about cereal boxes.
I do.
Here.
Okay. So, there's a minor inconvenience to what they have now, but it could be easily solved or readily solved with Alan. And he said, you roll it tight, you put a clamp on it, you put it back in the box, or don't even put it back on the box. You obviously want to put it back in the box to avoid sunlight and oxidation, but like that's because obviously when you're done, when you're pouring that into the bowl, you're like, oh, that's so good, and you just jam your hand down in there and lock the box back up, and it's good. Maybe there's a different way other than the Ziploc. Maybe you could like perforate a corner, and then just tear it up from there, and maybe that's we'll start there before we get into actual like Ziploc bags, because my guess is there aren't Ziplocs because of cost. It just costs more to do that. But you have that. What's the tearaway wax paper that sticks to bowls and stuff like that? Could you do something like that?
Yeah.
Just where it kind of meets like that, the other ends like that?
I like a combo of two of the things you're saying, like the perforated lip along the top of the bag, and the way they seal it is with just a little piece of wax that goes across that perforation, and once you've torn it, now your wax seal's gone, but you didn't let any air in after production. And then you can just keep your cereal box like you have it now. But you're right. But Alan, you know what cereal you want because you're a 30-plus-year-old man. Now, the only reason you know what cereals you like is because at one time you were a 7-year-old boy who was fascinated by the fucking colors and the fucking shit on the fucking front of the cereal box. And the cereal companies sell a shit ton of cereal because of what those boxes look like. So they can't get rid of the box.
Yeah, but I also think that's partially like that might be generational, right? Like, are kids really influenced by cereal box? Do they even have cereal commercials at this point? I guess cereal boxes if you're walking through a grocery store, but
yes, as the father of a
jazz up the bag. You know what I mean?
But the bag doesn't sit up and like scream at you as you walk by in the cereal aisle.
Yeah. That's reasonable.
So maybe
I'll give you that one, I guess.
This is where Flow Cakes goes above the rest. We'll have the bag seal itself, the perforated end. Don't let Flow Cakes die.
You buy Flow Cakes and you get you get a vacuum sealer if you buy a bag of Flow Cakes. There you go, man. It's expensive cereal, but it's worth the investment if you think about it.
I've just always wanted that little nub at the top of the cereal box to be like longer instead of like that. You know how it's like an inch and a half, that little nub that you're supposed to. Every time you go to open a cereal box, the way they glue it, I'd say only 1 in 5 boxes that you open doesn't end up with a slice in the cardboard. And the only way you can do it is you got to get your finger underneath and then slide left and slide right. But still, that box will tear along that fucking little nipple that's supposed to close your cereal box, and then it doesn't close once there's a small tear. Yeah, cereal box opening and closing technology, we should have improved that by now. I agree with you, BuzzFeed, for once.
And you said you only get one shot, right, Mur?
Yes, Eminem.
That's what I was going to get at. Like, you only get one shot at greatness. You don't spill these fucking Cheerios all over the place. His palms are sweaty. Why do printers so reliably not print?
Good point.
Yeah, that's a technology that you would think we'd have.
One of the biggest scenes in one of the greatest movies of our formative years, Office Space, is them destroying a fucking printer.
Yeah, like I can take a photo, fucking edit it, and send it to someone across the world faster than I can fucking print an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Like, it seems like we're just grossly ignoring printer technology. At some point, we were like, that's good enough. We're good.
I genuinely believe that the people who design printers don't have firmware in the front of their mind when they put that fucker together. Like, because I have like a $500 fucking Brother printer. It's like an office printer. I didn't want to buy another printer for the rest. And it has the AirPrint thing. If I don't update the firmware every fucking week and a half, I can go to my phone, I can pull up the web page and go, here we go. Here we go. Is that thing making noise yet? And then this is the funniest part about it is I will actually send it to my iPad, do the same functions, and it starts printing. I just throw my hands in there like, oh, okay. It works like that. Okay, so fine. Yeah, all right, cool. Good job. Way to go. Fucking piece of shit. And that's how that works. So yes, printers still in the year 2024 can print every color imaginable if they'll print.
They gave it a shot with I think laser printers, and then they turned out to be less reliable than ink, if I recall correctly. Depending upon what you're printing.
I have a laser printer.
Yeah, we have a laser one. Yeah.
It prints fine when the actual function of hitting the literal print button on the screen of the thing that you're looking to print makes its way through the ether and actually fucking triggers the printer to do its job. But that's my problem. And then I'll say like, have you updated your firmware? No, brother, I have not updated my firmware in the last 14 minutes. Let's do that, I guess. It'll take me 15 minutes to fucking print a piece of paper.
Next up on this list, firmware. No. The buildup that happens in lotions and soap pumps that harden the product. You go to use the product, and that buildup acts as a stopper until the pressure pushes it loose, and also shoots a stream of lotion, shampoo, whatever comes across the room. I also want to throw mustard into this. I know that lotions and soaps, it's up at apples to pears or soaps to mustard. But that's happened to me a few times, especially building a sandwich. I'm like, you little fucking prick. Not only that little hard piece of mustard is lost like a goddamn someone in the ocean. Yeah.
I don't know how you solve that one though. Like the other two so far, I feel like are engineering. They're within our reach from an engineering standpoint.
Yeah.
I don't know how you degellify hardened lotion.
You use it more.
Or mustard.
Right.
Good point.
You use it. I mean, it's routine. You're supposed to use the lotion in the shampoo daily. If it doesn't, then it's bound to happen.
Well, then that's your penance for fucking being late on your own like self-care. Like otherwise, like. Because I don't use lotion. That's not my thing. I don't like the texture, the feel.
Yeah, I don't use lotion either.
But I have it on occasion, like medically, like, ooh, I got a dry patch here. I should probably moisten that up overnight. And yeah, you go to... And by the way, that's user error too. If you go to hit the pump and it doesn't pump right away, maybe snag a paper clip, figure out what's going on instead of just being a
fucking jamming it like a Neanderthal. Yeah. Fucking. There's a reason for that. Yeah. No, I agree with Murr on that one. Been a lot of agreements with Murr. Fucking change the subjects.
Got something? How you successfully cleaning the inside of a windshield? What's up with that science?
Ooh. Oh. I don't know. I think the layman doesn't have the correct tools,
I agree.
Like car detailers, they have like swizzle sticks, they jam down in those crevices and we don't have those. I mean, we could, I guess, in theory, but why?
Well, you could buy a detailing kit. Would you use it? Doubtful.
No. I pay for like monthly fucking unlimited washes and shit. I'm not. There's a little crew of Guatemalans that does it for me. It's fine.
Oh, a Chevy Silverado. Look at this guy.
Look at this guy.
He must be rich. And hardworking. The one thing I feel like they should sell with the car, though, is some kind of tool that does clean the inside of the interior of the windshield. Because as automobiles have gotten, like, more streamlined, like, you're, like, upside down in some fucking yoga position. And how do you... Every time I've done it, there's always that, like, Mr. Miyagi streaks and swirls whenever it starts to steam up in there. So, yeah. There should be some sort, or I've got one. Put like a fucking runner, you know what I mean, like a something that just kind of comes across the inside, like in a fixed windshield wiper blade, that you literally just squirt the Windex on and then drag across to the other side of the fucking windshield, and then you just leave it in place or snap it up against the plastic of the car, and you're done.
That doesn't sound half bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea. I like my crew of Guatemalans idea personally, but
I do too. But
that's fair.
I can't afford the Guatemalans.
That's fair.
Here's a good one. We have to put stickers in the city on the inside of your windshield for parking passes. That way they don't, because parking's limited and they want residents to have preferential treatment. But when you change it out every year to get that fucker off, whew, man. You gotta get some. You gotta bend your wrist in a fashion that it's not used to. You gotta have a lot of goo on, and then occasionally, like I do, I'll hook up an extension cord with the heat gun, and just
Jesus Christ, dude! I'll save you a lot of time, and I'll send you a link to what you need, and it's basically just a fucking razor blade that's about yay wide, and you can just go shoop. And it just comes right the fuck off.
I did that once with a sticker, and I, ever so gently, it wasn't a big deal, but I still scratched a tinge. And for the rest of my life, the rest of the life of that car, I had to look up and see where I just ever so gently scratched that fucking windshield. And I just I couldn't live with myself. I'd
scratch the windshield with a fucking damn.
Yeah, he wanted to cut his wrist after he did it.
That's user error.
Well, it was user error, but it was also the placement, like Wes is saying. Like when you get up by where like the VIN number is at the dashboard and where the windshield meets the actual car, that is an angle that you cannot find on a protractor. And I don't know how you're supposed to like actually get in there. I know they make tools and such, but I think I put a little too much pressure on one side of the razor blade and just that outside little corner kind of just ever so slightly. I know.
Yeah. I mean, and I know what Wes is going through because I used to do the same stickers. I don't have that. I have a sticker, but it's not as bad. And I don't have to change it every year. And I don't have to change it every year. Yeah, that's why, like, dude, I found the razor.
Well, I will give you a little piece of advice I learned from a Bilmer, and that's just you get some Scotch tape and you just kind of you tape the sticker to the inside of the window and don't even peel it back.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I have seen that.
I got to go buy one this week, so maybe that'll be it. I really like it if Google and YouTube would stop asking me if I want to sign in. Just let me look at whatever it is I want to look at and leave me alone. If I wanted to sign in, I would have done it. And it doesn't annoy me when they ask randomly while I'm trying to do something.
But see, is that really like a thing?
You can't fix that. No, the fix of that is stop looking at that. Go elsewhere.
Yeah, and there is actually kind of a workaround with that. Is if you go to incognito mode, it's almost like it clear. All of your saved data is not in incognito mode on your whatever web browser you're using. So if you want to go to YouTube and get like a blank slate, go there with incognito. But yeah, if I go to my regular YouTube, it's just like at this point, it's just Norm Macdonald videos and fucking Oasis now. So
why would you want a blank slate? It's all littered with conservative or liberal bullshit anyway. Why would you want to do that?
It's not a bad point, but but it's the most it's the most up to date like trending videos. If you go there with a blank slate, it doesn't show you like stuff that's related to all the horse shit you've been looking at for the last fucking decade and a half of your life.
Yeah, it's tough to get out of that. This is we might need a female to comment on this. Mammograms. There's got to be a better way to invent a mammogram machine that doesn't squeeze your boobs into a clamp so tight that you feel like you might pass out. It's medieval torture device. Surely there's a new technology that they could find something that's less painful. How the hell are you going to find lumps unless you put those lumps under some pressure?
I think it's to thin out the boob so they can shine enough, like, whatever scanner shit through there. It's not light, obviously, but, like, you flatten out the meat, and then they're able to, like, scan. I think they need a flat plane in order to really look at it. Otherwise, because there's a lot of, like, stuff in there.
I've never heard it's that painful. Now, I haven't talked about this that much, so take my...
I mean, I've never really heard that it was painful, like I said out loud, but, like, I guess I'm not in those conversations a lot, but
True.
Yeah.
I know what it entails, and it just seems painful. Like, they literally just smash your titty into a pancake so that they can see inside of it.
Well, I have a question, though. What if you got some chick with, like, you know, like, I don't know, like half A cups, you know, just a little mound. Like, what do they do then? Do they just kind of, you're fine. Get out of here.
I think they just give them like a little breast massage, and they're like, there's nothing there.
If you start growing titties, then there's a problem.
You'd be able to see it. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
It's called breast cancer, okay? Not nipple cancer.
Unsynchronized traffic lights.
That's
Depends
just
on where you are.
Right. That's just a fucking lazy municipality is what that is. That's just like Dave and Chuck fucking like taking their extra lunch break instead of synchronizing the fucking lights like they could. AI is going to solve all that, I think, in the very, very near future at least for major metropolitan areas. Like, I think about like Coastal Highway in Ocean City. They could easily figure that fucking thing out to where like they cascaded perfectly so that you would never have traffic on that fucking road. But
they've done a lot better though. No. They've done a lot better in the last few years. But there's like downtown Baltimore, there's areas where it's just little like kind of like, what the fuck, really? There's like backing up, like traffic backing up through an intersection.
Down Pratt Street is a little rough.
Yeah,
sometimes those lights are not synchronized.
You also can't really like account for like the 50 different construction projects they decide to do on a whim in every fucking like corner in Baltimore. Every time I've ever gone, that's why I hate driving in that fucking city. It's like take a left, and it's fucking 4 guys with a giant truck with a dolly, like a story in the air, like, how am I gonna do that? And it's like, go on up to the next one. And I basically have to make a 4 city block U-turn just to get caught by the same fucking truck.
Can't wait to have you down for my bachelor party and my wedding within a 4-week period in Baltimore. It's gonna be a fucking hoot. Why insurance companies allow to increase premiums if you use the service to pay the premium for?
Explain this.
Why insurance companies like to say, "Yep, huge scam." So they pay $500 for a claim and raise my premium by $50 a month the next year. I might as well just pay the $500 out of pocket and just save the money to do so.
Yeah, okay. I get what they're saying.
I mean, insurance
so it's
companies
like
are a fucking scam in general, but
I kind of agree. Unless you're you know what? Honestly, unless you're an asshole. Like, if you're an asshole and you're always getting in accidents, then I guess insurance works out for you. But if you're somebody like me, who's just simply given Progressive like a paycheck or 2 a year, but I am in the Diamond Club now, which means I don't have to sit on hold. I go straight through whenever I have to call about adding or subtracting a car from my policy that I'll never use. But yeah, no, that whole thing was like, oh crap, there's a crack in the windshield. Should I just call Safelite or should I call the insurance company? No, call Safelite. We don't want our premiums to go up.
Yeah.
Like, you have this thing, they should be able to just say, like, hey, you know, you're a valued customer, you never missed a payment. Yeah, we'll come out there, we'll fix that right up for you. And then just move on with life and not switch anything.
I was trying to scrape a sticker off the inside of my window. I scratched it. All right, it happens all the time. Elevators need an option to press a floor button a second time to cancel. The open and close button should be color-coded red and green in a split second that it takes for my brain to process the symbols. It's too late. Too late the door to open, and I look like a prick.
Okay. There's several problems with this. One, there is a clear button in most elevators.
Really?
And two, there was I don't know the exact statute or whatever, but like the American Disabilities people, like you can't open and like those open close buttons on an elevator do not work. You think they work because you're getting frustrated and you're like close, and you keep tapping it, and eventually it closes while you're pressing the button, but they don't actually work. Because if there was somebody out there with like a handicap and you were trying to be a dick, and you just, nope, not today there. Not today there, Mr. MS. It doesn't work. You can't, they don't work.
I say it could be Mr. Parkinson's too, but that.
Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, they don't work.
I don't think I've hit it too much, but I get what they're saying. You would hit the button that you hit. So say you were on lobby, you wanted to go to 5, you hit 6, and you're like, oh, and then you hit 6 again, and it then nullifies it, and you can hit 5 again.
I think there's an actual button on the panel that just clears it.
Gotcha.
I don't know that that's true, but I think some of them do. Like if it is like a double press or something like that.
I don't think some dickhead kid can get on and fucking do the Liberace with the fucking buttons and you're forced to stop on every floor. I'm pretty sure there's a way to cancel that out.
Yeah, you kick him in his fucking dick.
And then you hit the closed door button on him on the way out.
That's right. You drag him out and there's a few others. Some of these like menopause, itchiness, with like side effect for a medication and condition that I have the same are same as the symptoms for the condition. Whatever. This is a good one. You like this. We're going to close out with this. There has to be a better way to package flour.
Sacks.
Sacks?
Yeah, that's it. That's what they come in.
Yeah, they come in a sack.
They come in sacks.
Again, okay, this one I don't actually know. I think flour comes in exactly what I want it to come in. Just a fucking paper pouch that's been folded properly. Mm-hmm. I actually got mad at the Jiffy cornbread people because it used to come in like a nice white paper sack inside the box, and they've now changed that over to the same fucking plastic they use in fucking cereal boxes. So when you try to open your cornbread, it fucking dances out everywhere. Before, it was perfect. You undid it. You undid it. And plus, you're talking about, again, a super cheap, necessary item for your house. If you change that packaging, they're going to charge you out the asshole for it.
Yeah, and I think you have to come. You have to use that with the expectation that there's going to be a little bit of messiness. You know what I mean? Baking in general lends itself to messiness. You can clean that up. What are you going to do? Like, I'd have to talk to a baker. What are you going to have some sort of funnel? You're not going to do a piping bag with like a stopper on it. What would be the alternative?
I don't know. I think if you really are that keen on flour, you get home, you get a 1-gallon Ziploc bag, you crack open the top of the flour, you put the bag on top, flip that upside down, and just dump it out, and then you're done forever. There's your new packaging.
And you chop up a few
home, man.
And you
Ain't
fucking
that big a deal.
Snort those puppies and fucking bake you something, right?
By the way, I do almost do that exclusively every time I open a bag of flour. I do the whole like I'm in some fucking 80s cop show.
Looking like Tony Montana with a double nose sniffer. Ugh. Well, those are some things.
I just take the little tip to the tongue, like, yeah, that's grade A right there.
Yeah, that's it. Goodfellas is what I always think of. Like, wait, is it good? Is it good? Bye bye, dickhead. All right. enough fun. But we can get to more fun, right? It's Fun Fact Friday. The name's in the goddamn bit. Let's do it
I don't know.
up.
I feel like I think that might have been. I think we reached our fun quota for the evening. So let's just let's just make this Satisfactory Fact Friday. How about that?
Gotcha. Yeah. You kids are gonna learn long division Friday. Got it.
Yeah. Whimsical Fact Friday. Here we go. All right. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. OMG facts. Brought to you, of course, by our great friend, The Cuckster. Find The Cuckster on Instagram. That's Cuckster for life. Cuckster, the number 4, life on Instagram. So, we talked about The Cuckster finding Jesus. What else has The Cuckster been up to?
Cuckster had a prospective court date with the Hawk 2 girl. As he said that him and his wife came up with it next, and the Cuckster took off this week because coincidentally the Cuckster was a little under the weather.
Oh, coincidentally, huh?
To make some new content.
Well, check out all the old content from the Cuckster on Instagram. That's Cuckster for life. Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you on a Friday. Did you know it's impossible to hum while holding your nose? I disagree. I just don't think you can hum very long.
Oh.
I mean, try it. It is pretty tough. Yeah, but I don't know that you're humming. I think you're just fucking.
What's a hum?
Yeah, what is a hum?
Because I mean, think a hum without it now, and notice how much air comes out of your. Yeah. So I guess you can make the argument that it's humming, but like, yeah, I would say that it's probably accurate. Yeah, it's a muffled hum. Yeah.
Yes, the muffled. That's our band name, by the way. The Muffled Hums.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
Come, Mr. Tallyman.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Frankie Valli. Did you know the difference between a nook and a cranny is that a nook is a corner and the cranny is a crack?
Ooh,
I always thought when I heard nooks and crannies. I mean, come on, Thomas's English Muffins. That's where that became famous. See, I always thought the nook was like the high part, and the cranny was like the low part of like the little perforations in the middle, or like the.
No, I guess I could see how you would think that, but I mean, nook. I mean, it's like a nook. That's like a.
I know,
nook.
breakfast nook. It's
breakfast
in the corner.
nook. Yeah.
But I just figured peaks and valleys.
It's a little cutaway.
Because I mean, there's not really a corner on a round English muffin.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Unless you go inside the muffin.
Oh yeah, deep inside. I mean, as deep as you can go,
I feel like the kids from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids 2 did that. They dug into a muffin that had been dropped in the backyard. Like, ooh, we should go in here. Eat some.
You brought it up. Apparently, Rick Moranis is going to be making a comeback to the Shrunk game. They're going. I think Disney Plus is going to be doing a Honey, I Shrunk 'Em Again series.
Maybe this time Rick Moranis gets shrunk.
He's been shrunk his whole life.
Him, Steve Martin, and Martin Short, and hilarity ensues. Look at that. Come
on. Whimsicalities ensue. I wouldn't say hilarities.
Gotcha.
Especially with Martin fucking Short. Piece of shit.
I will say, like, for Moranis to make a... I mean, he hasn't starred in anything in... I would say 25 years.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most honorable reasons, by the way. His wife died, and so he stayed home to, like, raise the family. They offered him a shit...
He was never really, like, smitten with Hollywood anyway. He made his money and was like, I'd rather go back to Canada and, be rich.
Be a person.
And raise my kids.
Yeah.
But they offered him a shit ton of money, apparently, to come back for the Ghostbusters revitalized franchise thing, and he's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. You mean you don't want to watch a CGI ghost version of Harold Ramis? God, what's the matter with you?
What did you think of those? Did you see those, Alan? The newest ones, not the one with the ladies, but the newest ones.
Which one? Ghostbusters?
Yeah, Ghostbusters. With Paul Rudd.
Oh, I have not. I heard it was terrible though.
I wouldn't say terrible's the right word, but I wouldn't say great's the right word either.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched that one.
A passable continuation of an old franchise.
Maybe, yeah, that's what I heard. Is like it was
But
kind of like a sequel slash.
I've also learned in my older years to get off my high horse on that stuff and remember that these movies aren't for me necessarily. Like, there are four 12 to 15-year-old kids who are, it's like, and hopefully they'll go back and watch the movies that I enjoyed because of it. Like, well, wait, who are those old guys? Like, oh, well, in 1985, there was a movie starring Bill Murray, and it's amazing. Let's watch it together now.
Yeah.
So that's
See, at the last scene, when the three of them, along with the ghost of Harold Ramis, is shooting this thing, Ernie Hudson, a.k.a. Winston, looks at all of them. He goes like, "Let's get them, suckers!" Like Booker T. And I was like, wow, look at that. That's great writing. That didn't happen, by the way.
I wished it did.
Actually, I kind of wish it did. Did you know thinking in a foreign language makes decisions more rational?
God. Well, if I was bilingual, man, I could figure
Right?
that out. But I can't.
I think
Alan,
it's because
do you think in Spanish at all? I know you're kind of quasi-bilingual.
I mean, I don't know what that means, but yeah. No, I mean, I think primarily in English. It's my first language.
Listen, I've heard your mom bombard you in straight Spanish, and you were like, "Mom, okay."
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm
"Did you
fluent in
understand that?" And you're like, "Yeah,
Spanish.
about 90%."
No, I understand everything. I'm just speaking it sometimes. I sound like this, so I don't have any accent. And two, because I think in English primarily, like I'll be mid-sentence and I'll forget a word in Spanish. You know what I mean? And it'll be like a common word. It'll be like fucking shoe, and I'm like, nah, I don't got it. El shoe, and they're like, you fucking gringo, and I'm like, yep, yeah, I am.
But I think the reason it makes sense, Wes, is because like Alan doesn't remember some words. You only know the basic words. So like you're like trying to make a decision and you're thinking in this language that you don't have enough vocabulary for. And so like if you're thinking out the problem in that language, like you only have you can't get all flowery and daydream down all these different directions.
Yeah.
So you have to it's more of an A to B path because you don't have enough words to take you to C, D, and E.
Yeah. Probably ends up like being less anxiety, probably less a lot of things. Guilt, weirdness.
What was the
stuffiness.
fact again? I forgot what you said.
You're more rational when you're thinking in another language.
Yeah, because you're probably slower. Like that's what one thing Kelly said. Like we were in Mexico, and I'm like talking to random staff. She was like, "You don't talk as fast. Like I speak English quickly. I don't speak Spanish quickly. Like that's because I'm slower down and thinking. I can
By
just
the
fucking
way-
start cussing people out in English. I don't even have to think about that. I'm totally irrational.
I saw, just speaking of like bilingual, I saw a lady, so she's Russian, but she learned English in Jamaica. So it's
it's crazy.
white woman with a Russian accent who speaks English with a Jamaican dialect.
Wow.
It's almost as hilarious as watching like natural born people from China speaking Spanish. It's amazing and hilarious.
It's pretty wild.
Oh, muy bien.
Blood
¿Cómo
clot.
está? ¿Cómo está usted? Did you know? It took 220 years after the pencil was invented for someone to invent the eraser.
Damn.
That makes sense, though. I mean, rubber wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
Was that the number 2 pencil?
Yes.
Could you imagine using a pencil though and not being able to erase? Like fuck, scratch it out.
Well, yeah. I mean, but weren't they using like charcoal to like scratch shit any which way? Like you had writing utensils, and before that, I'm sure it was like some kind of ink. I mean, the Chinese were using papyrus and like fucking brushes to write shit, so it's not like they were able to like, wipe this out, erase that. No, you fucked up. Moved on.
Yeah.
It does make me wonder how many like ancient like writings that we were baffled by, but there was just some dyslexic twat like myself who couldn't fucking spell or put things in the right grammatical order, and so we just can't fucking crack the code because the guy who wrote it was a moron.
Yeah, there's probably a good sample size of that out there. Yeah, I would think.
We couldn't crack the code because there wasn't an eraser to erase what happened.
That's right. Well, the Zodiac Killer, I think they finally cracked his little cipher, and the reason they couldn't crack it before is because he spelled a word wrong, even with his cipher. So, like,
well, he was thinking in Spanish.
That's right.
That's correct.
No, like he put an E before I, and accidentally, and so they're like, "This is impossible." But no, he was just a terrible speller like myself.
Yeah.
Shocker. And he was a mass murderer. Did you know? Finally, students in Holland built a robot that pours the perfect glass of beer. It takes 1 minute, 11 seconds to pour the ideal mix of beer and froth. Which I disagree with, by the way. Just fucking dump it and wait.
Do you think, hold on, dumping it and wait would equate to the same 1 minute and 11 second pour that they deem the perfect pour of
No, they're
beer,
saying that
actually...
that the way the robot poured the beer was it took 1 minute and 11 seconds to actually like fully get the beer out of either the can or the bottle, and that made the perfect beer / froth. But I watched John Tapper tell me how to pour a beer about 5 years ago, and I was like, God damn, if anybody knows how to pour a beer, it's going to be that man that rescues these bars from a bunch of hillbillies and hypocrites who fucking wasted their parents' life savings.
I've seen that, because he does that and he jams a bunch of napkins down there. He's like, see, look, it's all frothy. You're not going to eat anything. This right here, this is the way you do it. And then you're going to be hungry.
No, his thing was more like, when I saw it, he was... And it was like an IPA. He's like, this is a thick beer. All the flavors and aromas are trapped inside of this, so you want to release them. So he's like, just dump it high, let it hit hard, wait till the foam dies down. He's like, it actually keeps the flavor in the beer and releases, like, he kind of breaks it up, kind of like when you aerate wine. I was like, oh, that all makes sense. And that's how I do it now.
So you pour the beer and you let it sit for 2 minutes?
Yeah, no. Like different styles of beer should be poured differently, and in different glassware if you want to be technical about it. But no, hard pouring beers like that should really only happen with like nitro beers. You shouldn't be hard pouring every fucking beer you have. That's
I hard pour my IPAs now.
Yeah,
I mean, you come on, like a Coors Light. Like, I mean, we're talking like I put that fucker to 45 because there's no flavor to fucking release. If you release any of the flavor of a Coors Light, you're just drinking fucking water. So you want to leave as much in there as you can.
Yeah, I wouldn't pour IPAs hard upside down either. It's just kind of wild.
I'm telling you, man. Change your world.
Nah, trust me, you do not know more about craft beer than me. There's no way. But no, there's just like, I think you're counterproductive because you're wasting all your carbonation. You're not keeping your head heavy, which the head is what keeps all of your flavor and your aroma and your carbonation in.
According to John Tapper, he said this is all...
John Tapper's a fucking fraud, so it doesn't matter.
Either way, he said is like, look, this is all gas, right? Would you rather have it in the glass or in your ass? And I was like, well,
that's not sold. How you would buy gaseous fucking substances. That's not how that works.
Sold.
He's an idiot.
Well, if you bong it through your ass, then you get both.
That's a good point.
Just consider that.
And
that fun fact,
this is all gas that you can't drink anyway because it's gas. That's not how this works.
It becomes Putin out anyway. Tonight, before you go, the state of New Jersey, the Garden State, and the state of Pennsylvania, the Keystone State.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Phew, man, I had to
Well done.
dig that out from 8th grade sociology.
All right, hold on.
Social
Maryland. What's Maryland?
Maryland's a free state.
Nope.
Nonsense.
Old
Maryland is the fucking free state, man.
It's the old line state officially.
Boom.
That's not
Well done, Alan.
nonsense. No, I'm
mean-
calling bullshit. I'm punching Alec Trebek in his fucking dead face, and I'm telling you, it's the free state.
I'm gonna protest because I 100%
it's
agree with
definitely
Alan.
not.
On
The old
this
line
one.
state. That's when they were like it's not. Hold on.
Mason Dixon.
Yeah, just
I understand
Google
what you're
it, bro.
saying, and I think that was a Civil War nickname. Well, I should Maryland state name.
Yeah,
A nickname.
official
Official
Maryland
state
state nickname.
I mean, and if it did change, you'd still be wrong because if that's the official.
Okay, so
I'm gonna
I see 3: Little America, Free State, Old Line State.
Yeah.
And then on the official, okay, hold on. On the official MSAMaryland.gov manual HTML nickname is Maryland is known as both the Old Line State and the Free State. Okay, so we're both right.
Yeah.
That's not possible, but
How the
I'll
fuck?
give you half.
All right, whatever.
we'll give
Okay.
you half credit.
You guys get full credit. I get half. Okay, perfect.
That's right. Good job.
So the Garden State and the Keystone State get into a little bit of a squabble via X. Connecticut posts a thing on Welcome to Connecticut, the greatest pizza in the country. Connecticut then they solicit the advice of the Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, and say, hey, is it legal to lie about this? Then they say, you're not even the greatest pizza in the tri-state area. And Christ, I hit the X button. Sorry. There's a lot of shit on this page. What happens more than Pennsylvania calls out Jersey, then Jersey says, hold on.
You have to open
Damn
it
it.
back up.
Right, it won't load that fast. I clicked on the actual X things. This is the happiest place on earth. Basically, a Twitter war ensued between the state of Pennsylvania and the state of New Jersey, with Jersey saying, "What's the least happiest place on earth?" And they just showed a screenshot of the state of Pennsylvania.
Yes,
So then-
dragged Pennsylvania into the mud for no reason at all whatsoever. They started squabbling over Connecticut. A
Yeah.
bunch of different official state X pages started kind of going back and forth.
Right.
Somebody said
Which
something
apparently
about
started all over pizza.
and yeah, of course, New York and New Jersey were mad because they're supposed to be known for their pizza. Somebody said something about oh, we're the happiest place on earth. If you're the happiest, where's the saddest? And then they show Pennsylvania, and then Pennsylvania and New Jersey start going back and forth at each other. I personally love this. This is how this country, by the way, was in fact started. There was a bunch of fucking squabbling communities and colonies, and we all fucking had to fucking put our differences aside to figure out what the fuck we were doing to survive. And so I like it. I would like states to compete with each other again. I feel like we've kind of gotten into this homogenous kind of gray area of who we are. No, I want Maryland telling Delaware it's our bitch. I want that again. We need that. It makes us better.
Right. I want them to be like, hey, as soon as you get into that state line, that retard juice starts souping in, and you guys don't know how to make a crab cake. I don't know why. I don't know who told you to put red peppers in crab cakes, but they were, in fact, I'm going to say it, retarded. No, I agree. I'm not saying I want a civil war to ensue again, but, especially when Connecticut is the catalyst, and then, let's be honest, once Jersey and Pennsylvania start going to blows, Connecticut's like, okay, I had my fun. Goodbye. Yeah, that's right. Homer Simpson
Yeah, they
dipping
did
into the.
Yeah, they do the
gotta
old
get-
Irish goodbye where they just fucking leave. They log
That's
out.
right.
They delete their Twitter profile altogether.
It's the Michael Jackson
I gotta say-
gif where they're eating popcorn except they're eating pizza, their own New Haven style.
But see, the thing is that's what I've heard. I've heard Portnoy talk about it too. Like Connecticut has the best pizza, but it's because like all these people from New York and New Jersey moved up there for whatever reason and took their recipes. But I'd have to say, if they've reestablished themselves, compete then. Come on, Jersey. Come on, New York. Put up a fight. Get your title back. We need to have a pizza title fight.
God. I tell you,
I don't hate that.
I'd throw the middle class holes in as a judge, or at least some press credentials. I'd burn the roof of my mouth for a day of fucking tasting. Like 32nd place would be like you'd pre-cum in your pants. Like, wait, and like, wow, that's 32nd. I have 31 better pizzas to try than this, at least based upon the taste buds of quote unquote experts. Okay, well, fair enough.
Here's my question. So
hold on, and I'll tell you, I've eaten a 9-3 pizza that Portnoy has judged. It's called
really
Joe's on Bleecker Street. It's phenomenal. In New York City,
in Connecticut.
How was it?
So it was in New York City, and it was phenomenal. It was the thing I really liked about it was, and I get what he's talking about. I get what he's even said. This is what I judge. This is what I like. But the bread, when you were done eating the crust, you had to wipe your hands off. Your fingertips were covered in kind of like dough powder.
Yeah, flour.
Dough powder.
Oh, that old dough powder. That dough powder will get you.
That came in a very cumbersome packaging, by the way.
Yeah, but it was like it was phenomenal. Like I understand why I think he was a 9.2, 9.3.
Okay, if that's the case, I'd honestly like to know this because I know we railed on the quote unquote Barstool pizza that was at the Hollywood Casino Perryville, that was just a reheated fucking Elio's pizza in circle form. Why doesn't Barstool do that then? Why doesn't Portnoy go poach some of the pizza makers from some of his the 9 clubs and say, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna open up a chain, like one in every state, make it a destination spot, or one in every tri-state, make it a destination spot. I want you guys to develop the pizza that I rank as, like, I'll call it the 9.5 pizza. And we'll sell the shit out of them. Because I just don't see how, because I want to go try a Portnoy 9+ pizza. I'm willing to even go try a Portnoy 7.6 pizza. That sounds like the best pizza I will have ever eaten if I ever get my hands on one of those. But the fact that you've been to Bleecker Street, I'm fucking jealous. I want to know what that's like.
I mean, he judged a few in Philly that were like in the 8.6, 8.7 plus.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same because apparently, because what's Bleeker's at 9.4? Is that what that is?
John. Okay, hold on. I gotta look this up. Portnoy's.
Either way,
I think it was like a 9.3.
It's 9. Okay, so 9.2 or above. Like anyway, I just like to try his 9 pizzas. I'd like that. I want to know what that is because I mean, we've always talked. Everybody talks about pizza. Like all pizza's edible, but there is a hierarchy. I mean, obviously, even for him, like a 7, he'll say it's a solid pizza. I'll give it a 7.6. That's a solid pizza. Like to me, I wonder what Subworks in Perryville would rank. I wonder what Ercoli's in Perryville would rank. Like, you know what I mean? So,
John's on Bleecker Street was rated tied for 5th at a 9.3.
So that's not even his highest rated pizza?
He has 3 9.4s above it.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah. I wonder if he'll ever get
the closest to you is Angelo's in Philadelphia. It's a 9.1.
I'm not driving to Philly for a fucking pizza though. That's the thing. I'm not driving 2 hours for a pizza. I'm just not. Like I get it. If I'm in that area, I will make like there's that one pizza place like 10 blocks over. Like that's pretty close. That's a mile and a half. Yeah, I'll go over there. I'll do that. But yeah, I'm not driving 2 fucking hours to get a pizza.
Well, But you're willing to, like, if they have some sort of pizza battle in the middle of Pennsylvania, to drive up to that?
Well, yeah, because then you've got options. You know, you can say like, oh, well, he says this is a 9.2. He says this is an 8.6, but maybe I like the 8.6 more. Obviously, anything above an 8 is a phenomenal, like the best pizza I've ever had, right?
Sure. But we can also say they might not be able to replicate that if you travel out of town. You know,
True.
You know, like, presume that you have the same conditions, the kitchen, the bread, the dough, the pizza dust, everything that makes a pizza.
Yeah, but you're traveling with your dough, I'm sure. Yeah, the ovens might be a little off. But come on. The flavor profile's got to be there, I would assume. But yeah, no, what I'm saying is that Barstool Sports themselves should poach some of the recipes for the best pizzas. Like, literally buy them out. Be like, listen, you can still sell them in your original locations, but we want the recipe, like what you use, all that jazz, and we're going to make our own national chain.
Right.
Essentially selling your brand of pizza just made, you know, for us. Like, we'll give you credit. Like, they could call the pizza the John on Bleecker Street Supreme or something like that, you know, and just, but make it accessible for everybody to at least try 3/4 of the quality that you would get at the actual location.
But bottom line, you encourage Twitter civil war between states like this.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% encourage states. I want states to make each other better. It's almost like, like Hall of Fame players on opposing teams talking shit to each other. It makes it elevates them. Like, oh, you think you got the best pizza? Well, what about your coastline? Oh, Jersey's got needles. Jersey's got needles. And now Jersey's like, fuck you. I'm going to clean up all the needles on the beach. Like, you know, it makes you better, man. Steel sharpens steel.
I don't think that's how that works.
Maybe it isn't.
Pressure makes
but
diamonds.
I like it. Yes. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to be the shitty state. I mean, everybody knows which one the shitty state is, right? And I got to give Jersey credit. They got backed into a corner, and they were like, who's not here? Fucking Pennsylvania. Take that, take that, Quakers.
We're talking about pizza. They won't care that much anyway. And they're like, whoa, hey. Hey, cheesesteak lovers. We like pizza too. All right, Alan, tell all the Chevy Silverado fans and fanatics and owners where you can find the middle class souls.
Like a rock. Yeah, you can find us on all your favorite social media platforms that are at MDL Class Holes on Instagram and Twitter. We're the Middle Class Holes on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and fucking Grindr and all that fun stuff. And please check us out for your ear holes on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, I don't know, Pornhub maybe. Gay Pornhub.
Not yet.
Gay Pornhub, though. We really split tranny Pornhub or transsexual Pornhub.
Sorry, transsexual.
It's our niche. It's chicks with dicks, basically, is what we're saying.
Yeah, we got it. Are they still called that?
What the chicks with dicks?
Or are they just called transitioners? What are they called?
No,
now?
I think they're just like trans male, trans female, or like trans woman.
Yeah, I know, but is the trans like woman? I mean. Where are we in that vocabulary?
I think if you're looking on Pornhub, they're called like, sissy gape holes or something. You know what I mean? Like it's something something not appropriate whatsoever. It's shit we don't even need to be concerning ourselves with. Honestly, you should just stay out of it.
Fair enough. So don't search.
I swear to God. This AI thing that I use somehow attracts to sissy gape holes. I'm printing it. I'm printing that.
We are the middle class holes, so that's
yeah. We're essentially sissy gape holes ourselves. If you think about it.
Oh, man.
New band name.
Fair.
Hey, folks, we're gonna close this show out with an encore of a Bob Seger classic called "Like a Rock." All right, take her away. All right. All right, you sissy game holes. Have a good one.